I think you already did one that was a medical video. I've seen like basically
we have touched on some medical stories on YouTube for sure.
And there was one that was like really confusing. I forget, it like got into her lungs.
Oh yeah, Gloria Ramirez.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that one was really fascinating. That one like had my brain. I like looked up the thing and all of that stuff like afterwards.
Yeah, no, so she went in feeling sick. She was like terminal cancer, and she was doing DIY treatments, which included rubbing this wax. It was like a mechanical wax or something you can pick up at the hardware store, like all over her body, which apparently people had said that worked for this type of cancer. And so she was doing that, but then her organs started to shut down. She got brought into the emergency room, and she began emitting this odor, this like garlicky odor, and like the nurses and doctors began passing out in the room with her. They tried to take her blood, but when they pulled the blood out, it like crystallized inside of the tube. It like turned into these white crystals, and then basically turned into this like biohazard, this gas coming off of her body and from the blood samples. The short version is it was this perfect series of events that I don't explicitly remember, but it started with this wax she put on. Her skin absorbed it, and then it mixed with the type of treatment she was getting for her cancer, I believe. And it created this like new chemical that is harmless unless it's like oxidized or something. And like the first step that the doctors took when they brought her in was to like give her oxygen, you know, because it was just like,
it was when she was taking the oxygen, it continually got worse.
So like the oxygen mixed with this new chemical and created a toxic chemical, but don't worry, it's only toxic if it gets pulled out of her body. And they began pulling her blood out, and they crystallized, and that was the new compound. But don't worry, it's in the vial still, it's okay. But they were like, what are these crystals? And they put them on Petri dishes, and suddenly you've exposed this chemical to the open air, and it became lethal.
That's insane.
And so she ended up passing away. I probably got some details wrong there, but that's the gist of the story. It was like all the things that happened in a row had to happen exactly as they happened. Any of the steps that were taken by the doctors at the times they took them, there would have been no issue. No one would have passed out, no odor, nothing. It was like every little thing had to be exactly right. Like the odds of this happening are basically zero.